Hi, scholars, and welcome to Module 3, where we're discussing business organizations and employment law. In this discussion, we're looking at ethical issues surrounding a corporate governance from a global position. So think of a common example may be where a corporate board of directors breached one or more of their duties. We've seen this with Martha Stewart. We saw it with Enron. Um, WorldCom comes to mind, and a few others. And it also listed on there a few other businesses that have ethically violated their trust with the board of directors, and obviously with the consumer who is entrusting this company to make a right decision about about their product, what they're putting out there is an honest and good product. An example, Toyota and GM both had their issues with their products, and that violated the social trust of people buying those products. So it makes us think again. What if I'm buying this product? Is it going to be a good product they're putting out? So not going to have brake issues, ignition issues. It's not going to have breakdown in the middle of the freeway and cause an accident. So there's a lot of trust issues there that are based on ethical decisions. And one of the biggest ones also too is Volkswagen with their emissions computer program that fooled the U.S. computers, believing that they were putting out less emissions than they actually were. So, again, that's a pretty common ones that are out there. Apple, Monsanto, listed on here. Philip Morris, Chevron spills, Dynacorp, Walmart is always a big one. They're always getting themselves in the news or something for that. So take a good look at that, review the articles and the stuff I put down there, and consider it. I'm going to pop over and look at the assignment for this week, the critical thinking, and of course you have two choices there. You got one choice number one, ethical issues of employment law. The 5 topics that identify and clearly define a relevant law, either defining the legal doctrine that you're referring to, provisions of a law, or elements of a specific cause of action. And basically means cite the law that you're going to be discussing that addresses the ethical issues in employment law, like hiring underage, not paying enough money, not providing enough hours, stuff like that. Apply the facts and situations to the applicable law, doctrine, or cause of action studied. So again, take the case study you're talking about, apply those laws to that case study and discuss how these laws play into that, how they can be compared and contrasted within that law. So give a good analysis of the law and the case study you're referring to. Clearly summarize any lessons learned from the week as they apply to your fact pattern and make links through readings of the modules. Of course, there's plenty of readings here, visual and audios, so refer back to those. How do they tie into employment law? And finally, in your conclusion, include your thoughts and ideas on the module information that is a reflection, insight, logically flow together information, from your point. Again, you want to approach these papers with an unbiased opinion. You want to look at both sides of the argument. And finally, of course, identify any related ethical issues revolving around employment law. What's ethical, what's not ethical, and stuff like that. Assignment 2, choice number 2, employment discrimination of modified occupation. This same thing, same setup, but you got 5 topics there. You do some research on the net unless you know of a bona fide occupation qualification situation you can refer to. Of course, you have to cite that too as well. And some of the biggest ones, like a guy tried to apply for a job as a Hooters girl. So obviously they kind of discriminate in that situation. And this guy wanted to be part of the wait staff, which obviously is Hooter girls. So he went to court on that. Actually, where a bona fide qualifying occupation would work is in the movie industry. If you're going to make a movie about slavery, you're not going to hire a bunch of white people to play the slaves because they don't portray the particular time frame the situation was going on there. So look at stuff like that when you look at this particular topic. Again, identify clearly defined and relevant law utilized by the court to determine the outcome of the case. This includes defining applicable legal doctrine, provisions of a law, elements of law. So what happened? You know, another case too. There's American, I think it was American Airlines used to discriminate against their what you call stewardess or people that take care of you on the plane. It used to be women. They used to fit a certain stereotype. And again, males wanted to get into that profession, and now obviously we have flight attendants that are both male and female, so that's a good case to look up as well. Again, applying the facts from the research situation on applicable law, doctrine, cause of action, and research, and then address the following. Should Title 7 apply to every company regardless of number of employees? Usually it refers to only for 15 employees or more. Anything less than 15 employees, the law doesn't apply. And why doesn't it apply? So you have to answer that question. Should race and color be permissible bona fide occupational qualification, or BFOQ, or should the BFOQ exceptions to employment discrimination be removed completely? Again, like I said, everyday work, waiter, CEO, cleaning person, secretary, receptionist, whatever. There's no specific, or there shouldn't be any specific qualification for that person, except for their job qualification. That should be male or female. And like I said, with the movie industry, that's a different story. If you're trying to portray a certain time frame with certain people, like slavery or a Japanese World War II movie, or specific race that happens to be needed involved in that to portray authentically, then yeah, this is where the BFOQ actually works. So think those over. Again, bottom line on these papers: make sure they're well structured. Use APA format. I give it feedback on that, and obviously if there is a problem with the APA, I'll let you know, and you can fix it and resubmit the paper. Also look for the content, flow. Use the different headers based on different topics. For example, out of employment law, identify obviously have an introduction to your paper, then you get into the body, identify the relevant laws. So Murphy's Law would be your first topic, and the case study, that could be another header. Then the facts about the situation would be the header, the case study. And clearly, summarize lessons learned. This is how I'm pulling one end from the other, putting them together from today's lessons learned. Even though this is only week 2, but that should be pretty easy there. And final thoughts or your conclusion. Wrap it up and discuss your points of view on there. In employment law, they have identifying ethical issues. I would bump that up before your conclusion and discuss ethical conclusions. Again, if you have any questions on these particular assignments, do not hesitate to give me a call. Obviously first email me, text me, then call. But email me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Great, and have a great Module 2.